In response to COVID-19, PSP is offering virtual fitness to Canadian Armed Forces members. By using social media platforms, the virtual fitness classes tailored to the Canadian Armed Forces personnel becomes accessible to all. Participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members recognize and acknowledge that their age, health status, physical fitness level are unknown. It is entirely up to each individual to assess their ability to participate in this class. Since it is preferable to consult your physician before beginning any exercise program, we invite all participants who are not Canadian Armed Forces members to consult the Get Active Questionnaire of the Canadian Society of Exercise Physiology and its reference documents. If you experience any pain or difficulty during the exercises presented in this video, it is recommended that you stop and consult a healthcare provider. If CAF members sustain an injury during this video, please remember to fill out a CF98. Welcome to the Force Prep program. Today we will be doing the warm-up that you can use before any exercise session. You should always do a warm-up before exercising, whether it is doing strength exercises, cardio, or high-intensity interval training. This warm-up can be done twice to give you a little bit more of a cardiovascular benefit, or to just get you going a little bit more before doing your regular workout. We are going to go through it once. If you need to go through it a second time, feel free to start it over and do the warm-up a second time to make sure that you are properly warmed up before doing any other exercise. So let's start off with some arm circles. If you have the coordination, you can add in an easy march. Right now I'm doing forward arm circles, and now let's switch to backwards arm circles. Go as big or as small as you are comfortable going. The goal is to do big arm circles, but if your mobility is limiting you, you can stick within your limits. Now we're going to move on to some high knees. When we do these high knees, we want to make sure that we're keeping our chest up and our core engaged, so we're pulling our belly button in and up. Remember not to lean down towards your knees as they come up, so we don't want to be doing any of this. Chest always stays tall. Lift knees, don't lower your chest. And we'll move on to some butt kicks, bringing those heels up towards our bum. Keep your knees pointing down, and we are moving our arms as well. Now, if you're struggling with this, I like to do a row with my butt kicks, but you can choose to do more of jogging arms if you find that easier, or rows, whichever you prefer. We're going to move on to side step. We'll start with just the legs, step and together. Once you're comfortable here, we'll add in the arms, coming up and down. Again, trying to keep hips and toes facing forwards. We don't want them turning out to the side. You can make the step as big as you want or as small as you want. We're going to come back to a march in the center, and we're going to open and close our chest. I call this one chest fly. Now, if you want more benefit, you're going to turn your hands as you go through this movement. So it's going to be palm down as they come across, palm up as you open up your chest. So we got a little bit more rotation through the shoulder instead of just opening and closing. Now we're going to plant our feet about shoulder width apart. Take our hands, pointing them down towards the floor, and you should be hinging at your hips so that your hips are coming back. We're going to take one hand, reach up towards the ceiling, and come back down. Same with the other side. Reach up and back down. We're going to keep those hips pointing back. One hand to the floor, one hand to the ceiling, and switch. We'll do that a couple more times each side. Try to keep your back flat as much as you can. And one more each side. Now from here, we're going to go out into our inchworm. There are two variations for this. You can start in a squat position and walk yourself out into your plank. This is version 1. We always want to come back and touch our toes. Now, version 2 is sticking our bum up in the air, And then walking out. This one's going to stretch through your hamstrings a little more. We still want to come back and touch those toes. So whether you're doing version 1, where you're coming back to a squat, or version 2, where you're pushing your hips up into the air. We'll do 2 more. If you want to alternate between the 2 variations, you can. And on this one, we're going to slowly stand up, take a second, hands on knees, and bring it up. We're going to do a side lunge next. So standing close to the edge of your area, lunge as far as you can or as far as comfortable, and stand up. Lunge and up. Now if you want to use your arms for balance, arms straight out, out and in. Couple more each side. Similar to our side steps, we want to keep our hips and our toes facing forwards. And last one here. We're going to switch to a high lunge. So we're not going to go too deep in this. Our goal is to get a little bit of a bend through our front leg and a stretch through our back hip. Now, if you're struggling with balance, you can take arms out to the side and do it this way. We don't want to be putting our hands on our knees. This is a no. Here, here, or arms up if you want a deeper stretch. And as you get more comfortable, you can go down a bit deeper. If you're doing this warm up twice, your second time round, you might be going down to a full lunge. That is your choice. One more each side. And moving on to airplanes. So we're reaching forwards. If you need more help with balance, out to the side. This is working on our balance. Make sure you're kicking your free leg out as far as you can, squeezing your glutes. Those are your butt muscles. Let's do one more on this side. And we'll switch. I'll show you sideways for this one. So we're starting here, reaching out. And as you get more comfortable with this one, you can come down a little lower. But if you're just starting out, you can stay pretty high with this one. And one more on this side. All right, we will finish off with some ankle circles. So again, balancing. If you need a bit of help with your balance, you can find a wall, stand next to it and do your ankle circles. Make sure you do both ways. And then switching to the other side. And the other way. And you are ready to do the main part of your workout, whether that is strength or cardio. If you need to do a little bit more time on your warm-up, if you're still not feeling loose enough, go through these exercises one more time before moving on to the main part of your workout.